What's up, Boxing Land? I'm using a different camera with a tripod and trying something different. I hope the sound isn't as quiet as I think I am, as I think it is, because I played it back on there, but I don't know how it's gonna be when I upload it to YouTube. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you can hear me clear. Otherwise, I'll have to go back to how I've been normally doing it. But as of today, Monday, March, I believe it is the 5th, Yorkis Gamboa failed to make it to the press conference in Miami for his fight with Brandon Bam Bam Rios. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Nobody knows as of yet. We could only speculate. He was arrested in the past for beating up his baby mama, so maybe that's it. Or, you know, maybe he walked away from this fight. There are a lot of things going on right now with him that are throwing up a lot of question marks in the air. One of them being, as I mentioned in the last video, my prediction video, that he had been spotted several weeks ago with Mayweather in Las Vegas, spending time, and they were pretty, pretty friendly. So I was speculating that maybe his contract is expiring with Top Rank, and he may be making a move over to Mayweather Promotions, and maybe even switch managers and go with Al Heyman. And you know, I said that, and then I was present at the press conference in New York City for Mayweather Cotto, and I heard Cotto say that I heard Mayweather say that he would like to leave the torch once he's done with boxing to a guy like Gamboa or Broner. And, you know, that's just like another piece of the puzzle. Again, I'm speculating, but, you know, why would Mayweather say that? I mean, he was spotted with Gamboa. And then he makes a statement like that. It makes you wonder if, in fact, you know, it is true that Gamboa's contract is expiring. You know, contrary to what a lot of guys think and a lot of people are thinking, and even you know, people who are making bets, I think Arum is feeding him to Rios. You know, I know that Gamboa, excuse me, I know that he's a very good fighter, a strong puncher and skillful and fast, but I think the difference in size is a lot. You know, we're not talking about Gamboa going to 126, he's going all the way up to 135. So I think Arum may be cashing him out, and I think he may be going over to Mayweather. Time will tell. But, you know, again, he failed to make it to this press conference, so, you know, I'm only drawing conclusions. I guess we'll find out later on in the day or tomorrow what's really going on. Either way, I expect at some point Gamboa to leave Top Rank and end up with Mayweather Promotions, or at the least Golden Boy Promotions. So that's it. And in other news, if you guys have been following Oscar on Twitter, or you've been following the boxing websites, which of all I highly recommend that you go to fighthype.com. They're very accurate. As a matter of fact, I've never seen anything on their site that's been wrong. They confirm their stories, and they have a lot of access to fighters, as well as exclusives with Mayweather. So, you know, there's a lot of buzz right now in boxing as to what Oscar De La Hoya is gonna announce tomorrow. And I had said before that what I believe that he's going to announce is that he has a 2-year contract in Brooklyn at the new arena where the Nets are going to be playing basketball, and also that he has a deal with CBS. You know, to put good boxing matches on network television. And, you know, the reasons why I say that is because, you know, Oscar De La Hoya's old attorney, Steven Espinoza, is now the head of Showtime Sports. So Showtime is also under a company owned also by CBS, or as a company that's owned by a bigger network, but both those companies are under the same umbrella. And what I believe is that Oscar's going to say that they're going to put good boxing matches on network television on CBS, and that would be great for boxing. That would be great not only for the industry but also for fans, because we wouldn't have to subscribe to HBO and Showtime to see these fights. So hopefully that's what Oscar's going to say. I hope that he's not going to say that he's going to come back and have another fight I don't think that that Oscar has it anymore. You know, we all saw what Manny Pacquiao did to him. We saw what Stevie Forbes did to him. You know, he suffered an injury in that fight, and guys like Victor Ortiz had told us that he whooped Oscar's ass in sparring, as well as Edwin Valero had mentioned how he was beating Oscar up in sparring. So I think Oscar's shot as a fighter. I hope that's not it. You know, I hope that he does have a 2-year fight agreement at the new Nets Center Arena in Brooklyn, and I also hope that they have a deal with CBS. Boxing needs to come back to network television, and it's something that I've asked a lot of fans. I've been on Twitter, I've been on Facebook, I've been on YouTube, I've been in person. I've asked diehard fans, I've asked casual fans, you know, what do you think are some things that boxing can do? And the first thing that everybody across the board has said is they have to get on regular television. You know, they have to get off HBO and Showtime and pay-per-view if they want to grow a fan base, if they expect more fans to come and watch it. So hopefully that is what Golden Boy and Oscar are gonna say, and that's a good thing. I've been very critical of HBO, especially because, you know, guys, the way that it works is this: HBO has a huge budget for boxing, and what they do is they basically tell a promoter, you know, we need a fight for this date, and then the promoter comes in, he'll bring a big name opponent, or you know, or somewhat known opponent, and then he'll get like a cab driver, you know, and he'll pay the cab driver peanuts, he'll give his fighter decent money, and then he pockets the rest. And we don't get quality of fights, you know. And HBO is the entity that's paying the promoters for this. You would think that they would demand better quality fights, and they would do things to improve also the future of boxing, but they don't do that. They just shell out a ton of money. So, you know, now that Ross Greenberg is out of the picture, props to him, because he did a lot of good things for HBO. You know, he did a lot of good things in terms of production. You know, he 24/7, and he also did a lot of other things. They were good, but he also shelled out way too much money for bullshit fights that should have never happened. So hopefully Ken Hirschman, you know, he has the right ideas. Hopefully he implements them. And being that we're in this recession that doesn't seem to be going away, the CEO of Time Warner will squeeze us down on HBO Sports and tells them, well, listen, guys, you need to be more efficient. If we're going to shell out this kind of money, then we need bigger name fighters, or we need better opposition, or maybe we can get more people on a card. And I think they'll be able to do that. So, you know, hopefully, again, Oscar gives us great news and tells us that boxing will be going on CBS. All right. And in other news, I didn't mention before, but I went to the press conference for Bernard Hopkins and Chad Dawson, and I showed up late. But from what I did see, and later on when I saw the replay of the press conference, I've never seen Bernard Hopkins' body language the way that I saw it for that press conference. He seems uncomfortable, unsure of himself, you know. And this is a man that beams with confidence and tries to get inside the psyche of another fighter. But this wasn't the case. You know, Chad Dawson seems like he's hungry and determined, and he seems like he's going to bring it to B-Hop. So, you know, I hope, like Gary Shaw and Chad Dawson said, I hope that B-Hop doesn't try to find a way of getting out of this fight. You know, because if they do fight, I got to give it to Chad Dawson. I just see, you know, old, tired Lion versus young, hungry Lion. And, you know, Hopkins has had issues in the past with rangier, taller, stronger, faster fighters. So I just don't see how he can win this fight. You know, again, he might have a puncher's chance, and it's not knocking his skills. He's an incredible athlete, an incredible boxer. Despite what I personally think of the guy, you know, he's an incredible boxer. He's an all-time great. But I just think at this particular time, you know, you have a fighter who I believe has aged. You know, his last fight didn't last long. It went about 2 rounds. But I saw enough there maybe to think that, you know, he's dwindling down. So, you know, hopefully he doesn't back out of that fight. And, you know, Chad, you know, can give him a farewell, and, you know, Hopkins can ride off. Even though I still think that Hopkins can beat some of the guys in that division based on what we've seen. So, you know, I'm excited for that fight. Next week on Showtime, we have Salido versus Juanma Lopez. I believe they're fighting in Puerto Rico, and if they're not, forgive me. But I don't know about that fight, you know. I don't want to hear the bullshit that Juanma was getting divorced or had some marital issues at that time. You're a professional. You know, you're expected to train hard and to stay focused. And I just don't know. I want to believe that he can outbox Salido, but I think that Salido will be able to walk him down and maybe, you know, make him fight that kind of high-paced, you know, phone booth type of fight and get him out of there, or maybe, you know, beat him by points. So we'll see what happens next week. Tons of good fights, guys. Give me feedback. Tell me what you want. I still haven't got a program together, or I haven't invested the time in putting getting a software program where I can edit my videos. Once I do that, I'm gonna break things down really good for you guys. I'm gonna inform you more. But till then, stay tuned. You know, refer me to other people and let me know what topics you want me to cover. All right? Peace out, Boxing Land.